Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I have some important new information about guidelines from the IRS about the $10,200 in unemployment benefits. Now I'll give you the bottom line right now, but I do encourage you to watch this video all the way through to the end because you will get a lot of important information that could potentially help save you several hundred, potentially several $1,000s on your tax return. So folks, let's buckle up because as you know, the American Rescue Plan that was passed included $10,200 in federal tax exemption per person in a household where individuals were receiving unemployment benefits for 2020 as long as the adjusted gross income of the household was under $150,000. Welcome to our channel. The Ignition Time channel is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. My name is Dr. Nitin Choda. My goal is to bring you the latest news that is relevant to your personal economy. So with that being said, let's just jump right in. On your screen, you'll see an article from CNBC that says $10,200 unemployment tax break. Do not file an amended tax return. Yes, because according to the IRS, and this is a new guidelines from the IRS, I'll actually show you the IRS page in just a second. The IRS told us to wait to file an amended tax return if you received unemployment benefits in 2020 and you've already filed your 2020 taxes right now in 2021. Keep in mind, none of this applies to 2021 because we'll be filing our 2021 taxes next year. So this applies to your 2020 taxes and to those who've already filed their 2020 taxes because the IRS started accepting tax returns in February. So the IRS actually, here's the interesting thing, folks. The IRS actually issued guidelines on Friday over the weekend, last weekend, on how unemployed workers should indeed claim the tax break. So we will be getting into those specific guidelines. But just so everyone knows, in a nutshell, unemployed Americans should wait. This is the latest information we have right now as of today. Should wait to file an amended tax return to get a new tax break on unemployment benefits that were received last year, according to a new statement from the IRS. And as you know, the American Rescue Plan of 2021, which was signed into law by the president and which essentially waives federal taxes on $10,200 of unemployment benefits for single adults who earn less than $150,000 a year in 2020. The ceiling is $20,400 for two workers. That's basically, I'm talking a married couple. Now, amounts over $10,200 are still taxable, and I want our viewers and subscribers to know that states may or may not offer a tax break up to $10,200. So keep in mind, traditionally, the unemployment benefits are regarded as income, and the federal government is not going to tax, or is essentially going to let you not pay tax on $10,200 of unemployment benefits per person. But this does not mean that state taxes are not going to be applicable. Your state may decide to charge tax. So now, for those of our viewers and subscribers who already filed a tax return before the American Rescue Plan became law, basically the IRS is saying wait to file an amended return and they will be issuing additional information. The IRS has already received 56 million returns and processed nearly 49 million returns already. So they are moving pretty fast, and at some point or another, approximately 40 million of our fellow Americans were on unemployment at some point or another, everyone. 40 million of our fellow Americans. Now, what happens is if there's a holding pattern, if essentially you paid your taxes and you need this money back, this is, folks, this is going to put some of us in a tough situation. The ironic thing is, individuals who filed early and who essentially were quote unquote, expedient and responsible, if you want to use that word, although I wouldn't use that word, who knew that this American Rescue Plan would be signed into law and would have this last minute addition. But those who were quick enough to say, hey, let me pay my taxes, now are going to wait probably for the IRS to mail them a refund check without the need to file an amended tax return. Although, from my part, that is a guess at this point. We are going to have to wait for guidance from the IRS. So if you paid taxes and if you're waiting for the IRS to essentially give you a refund, you're simply going to have to wait. Unfortunately, the IRS did issue guidance, everyone, for those who have not filed a return. So the IRS said, for those who haven't filed yet, the IRS will provide a worksheet for paper filers, and the IRS will work with the software industry to update current tax software so that taxpayers can determine how to report their unemployment income on their 2020 tax return. Probably a new line item on the taxes. Let's actually, folks, take a look at IRS guidelines. By the way, I'll provide you with a link to these guidelines in the description section below. New exclusion of $10,000 of unemployment benefits. So let's take a look at what the IRS is saying, and I'm going to read out from this section. By the way, in fact, you know what, let me zoom in on this. By the way, you'll get a link to this in the description section below, so I encourage you to check this out also. But let me walk you through it. If your modified adjusted gross income, your AGI, is less than $150,000, the American Rescue Plan excludes from income up to $10,200 of unemployment compensation paid in 2020, which means you don't have to pay tax on unemployment compensation of up to $10,200. If you are married, okay, and we've had a lot of our viewers and subscribers ask questions specifically for married couples on unemployment benefits. If you are married, each spouse receiving unemployment compensation does not have to pay tax on unemployment compensation up to $10,000. Amounts over $10,000 for each individual are still taxable by the federal government. If your modified AGI, your modified adjusted gross income is greater than $150,000, you cannot exclude any unemployment compensation. So basically what that means is, let's say one spouse made 150 and the other spouse was on unemployment. The other spouse simply cannot claim a federal tax waiver on that $10,200. That's basically what that means. And the IRS is also saying that the exclusion should be reported separately from your unemployment compensation. See the updated instructions and the unemployment compensation exclusion worksheet. They've actually published this to figure your exclusion and the amount to enter on Schedule 1, lines 7 and 8. So basically, folks, it's going to be Schedule 1 of IRS Form 1040, line 7, unemployment compensation. So you should file a Form 1099G, everyone, showing in box 1 the total unemployment compensation that was paid to you, and then you have to report that in line 7. So folks, I tell you what I recommend our viewers and subscribers do is check out this entire page and check out the worksheet, okay? And there are some guidelines here. If you're married, filing jointly, enter the amount of unemployment compensation here. Let me scroll that up so everyone can see. If you're married, filing jointly, enter the amount of unemployment compensation paid to your spouse in 2020. Don't enter more than $10,200. So folks, what is the bottom line here? The bottom line is that if you're using a tax software, your tax software may not be updated to factor all this. So you may have to, so let me keep it simple. If you filed your returns, then you should wait for further instructions from the IRS. If you haven't filed your returns, based on what I'm reading here, you can either talk to your tax software to see how this can be done on your tax software, or you may consider a paper return, a paper IRS return. Just file your taxes the old-fashioned way. But we are expecting more news to come out, everyone, and I'll be sure to absolutely keep you posted. I hope this was helpful. My goal is to help you make sense of all this, because again, take a look at the guidelines from the IRS. Let's scroll down, and again, I will provide you with a link to the IRS web page, as well as the article from CNBC here on your screen. So I'll definitely provide that to our viewers and subscribers as well. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Listen, folks, I want you to know that I appreciate you. I work hard behind the scenes to bring you a lot of information. All I ask is you please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That would mean a great deal to me. That helps out the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you all. I will keep you posted. I work hard behind the scenes every single day. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.